Goeiemôre almal, goeiemiddag, jammer, het is al verby 12 uur. It's an absolute delight to be part of Tuks Landbou, to be part of the thinking behind what's going on, and I think we're moving in the correct direction. I've been involved with the Agricultural Society at University of Pretoria in any case for many years, and I served as a chairman when I was an undergrad student as well at some point, before it was converted into Tuks Landbou. But the direction it's going into now to combine with alumni and with industry companies is the right move. There's a saying, maybe I must speak a bit of Afrikaans as well. Daar's 'n gesegde dat as jy baie vinnig wil vorder, dan loop jy alleen. Maar as jy baie ver wil gaan, if you really want to go far, you make sure that you've got people, partners who support you. And I think that's what Tuks Landbou is doing. Dr. De Jager asked me indirectly to address 3 questions today. And that's why I've got this paper. And when I saw my student colleagues also using paper, I thought it's fine, I'm going to use my paper for notes. So please bear with me. So the first question was, how does a university equip students with the knowledge to solve problems through research without immediately knowing the answer to the problems or the challenges? And I quickly jot down 3, in my opinion, important points. By the way, there are 3 questions, so bear with me with that as well. The first point I think that's important to equip students is to understand and to apply basic concepts in science, the so-called SEMT, Science, Engineering, Mathematics and Technology, with which these students are well equipped in the first year. And then they progress into more applied modules that they study in detail. And I can assure you these youngsters are really brilliant young students. We are very privileged in the Department of Animal Science or in the University of Pretoria to get such strong students. The second important point of that in terms of equipping students is to understand the agricultural environment. And that's where we need partnership with industry companies, with farmers, with groups like SAI, for example. So know the agricultural environment, know the production factors, which are the important production factors, and then you can link that to economical implications. Know the geographic and climatological factors, as well as future forecasts. How is it going to change? And then thirdly, build applied knowledge on a strong and broad academic basis. The broader your basis, the bigger your triangle will be of knowledge. And I always tell that to students, and they probably get tired of my stories. This must be followed by analytical techniques and statistical expertise to analyze, understand, and then integrate all this information into new solutions for the future. The old solutions may not work. The second question that was posed is, how do we convert scientific findings or difficult concepts into understandable aspects for students and for the farmers? Because one thing that's lacking in South Africa is communicating our science with the farmers to make sure that they stay competitive internationally. I think there are 5 points of importance. The first one is the basic approach is always to understand the priori knowledge, the scope. What is the broader picture of what we're dealing with? Number 2, or B, break the problem into smaller components that can be more easily understood and that's manageable. C, study and analyze the aspects that are not known or well understood. Identify those aspects. Number D, get the data. If you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter what road you take. But if you know exactly that you're going to Cape Town, you need to take the N1. If you don't have data, you can't make an informed decision. And we benefit so much from all these economical predictions and climatological predictions that if we don't use that, we can't plan for future if we don't have it, for example. And then fifthly, linking nicely with my previous last point under the first question, convert the findings into known parts of the bigger picture and convey the so what of that message. to the farmers. The third question, and this is my last question, what are the challenges for the new generation of young agricultural scientists, and what will equip them to be more competitive nationally and internationally? I again have 5 points to answer that. Number A, there's a musician and a Nobel laureate. I'm quite fond of his music, Bob Dylan, and he sang the following words: "The times, they are changing." And the times are changing constantly. The one thing we're certain of is that time is changing, and if you don't adapt, you're going to die. That comes out of a play. Adapt or die. So, old solutions do not necessarily solve new problems. Understand the agricultural landscape, and I said that now for the third time. Understand the landscape. Understand consumers. If what you consume today doesn't take you back to that product, then it's not worth producing. So understand what your consumer wants. Understand the economical implications, and not just what's happening in Pretoria, but what's happening in Gauteng, what's happening in South Africa, what's happening in our neighboring countries, what's happening in the Chicago Stock Exchange, what's the Chicago price of maize, for example. Understand the production factors, the constraints, the challenges, and then identify the opportunities. And often, those challenges create opportunities. Then you can change challenges into opportunities by changing your perspective. If you don't like the perspective, walk a bit and try and get a different perspective. And then you can develop a new approach. And then, in my opinion, most importantly, be motivated. That's to the young students. Be motivated and passionate about what you do. And do not change things that work. So some of the old stuff that we developed, keep on with that, but develop new ideas and concepts as you go along. I want to wish you well, and I promise you I'll support as far as I can. And you know I'm passionate about it. And I want to again thank industry and SAI and the SASAS Northern Branch, or Gauteng branch that's here. Thank you for your support. And government as well. I see Joel Mamabolo is here as well. Thank you for your support. I think we're going to go far as a nice big team that we are. Thank you.